Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning on in to our Valley News Now desk on this Wednesday morning. Now, we got a pretty foggy, it's cleared up significantly, honestly, in the past few hours or so, but we got a foggy morning on our hands. We do have a beautiful day as well, but not without a price to pay. We got cooling down big time into the weekend, okay? One more time, thank you so much for joining us here on our Valley News Now desk. My name is Alex Larson. So we were just talking about the weather, and we're going to keep that tune whistling, okay? We're going to head on over to our Valley News Live website, get a better look at what we're dealing with today, excuse me. Looks like I gave you the sky cam again. My bad. We're going to do this instead. Head on over to our website, okay? I'm going to head on over to the weather tab here where you can see meteorologist Lisa Green just updating this for us moments ago. Summer days before weekend changes. Risk for severe storms, that's tomorrow. So right now we're sitting at 55, shallow fog like we were just talking about. We're going to climb all the way up to 85. That'll be around that 4 or 5 o'clock hour. We're going to stay pretty sunny today. That's going to, the clouds and fog, they're going to clear up around 11 a.m. this morning. And then that heat, as you can see, moves on in. I'm looking at Thursday afternoon here. Isolated storms, severe storms possible, highs in the 80s. We're going to click on the 11-day planner as well. You can see we bumped down Sunday. We were sitting at 69 degrees for Sunday, just like Saturday. But we actually bumped that down to 66 degrees for Sunday. Going to be a little cool out there. If you're anything like me, that is not your speed. However, we're going to make it through because coming up midweek next week, we're back to those mid to upper 70s as well. But you can see here that 85 and sunny. We don't even have a rain cloud on today. That's a change of pace. So enjoy today while you can. Again, severe storms are possible tomorrow. And we will, of course, keep you updated online and on air with everything you need to know. And you can check that out on our VNL weather app. Our First Alert Storm team works very hard to keep you updated in the know with everything you need to know to keep you weather aware and weather alert. So free to download, easy to use. You can find that in any app store. We've got that available for you. And that radar follows you wherever you go. So even if you leave our viewing area, you're still going to be able to get those updates for you and your family to track what's going on outside your door. I'm going to move on to our news portion of this segment. We got new developments in a drive-by Moorhead shooting case. So a teen's been arrested in connection to the drive-by shooting that happened back on Juneteenth. He's been on the run for over 2 months. Moorhead police arrested that juvenile and an 18-year-old who was driving a vehicle just before 12:30 yesterday morning. That was in the 400 block of 32nd Avenue South. They were originally pulled over for an equipment violation. So the Clay County Attorney's Office announced previously that they were pursuing 2 attempted murder charges, 2 assault charges, and a dangerous weapons charge. That shooter's identity, though, that is not going to be revealed. Remember, he's 17 years old. He is still a minor in this case. The driver of that vehicle, though, 18-year-old Azarel Chappell, was arrested for carrying a handgun without a permit and improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle. He has not been charged in connection to that drive-by shooting. However, the white Chrysler 300 that police had previously identified as the suspect's vehicle back in June, that has still not been located as well. Now, the firearm that was seized will undergo forensic testing to see if it was used in that June 19th shooting as well as any other crimes. Moorhead police are continuing their efforts to locate and arrest a second juvenile suspect. They're still looking for one more guy involved in this shooting. However, due to the state of Minnesota data and privacy laws, the name of that juvenile is not going to be released. A 17-year-old boy was shot in that drive-by, if you're familiar with this. He was taken to the hospital and underwent surgery right away. We've got all those details for you on valleynewslive.com. All of our previous coverage, you can find that on the VNL News app as well. And also new this morning, a Fargo man was arrested after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend during a domestic dispute. Officers were called to a Fargo residence just after midnight yesterday. Seems they got a call from a woman who reported her boyfriend, Mitchell Nelson, hit her with a golf club and strangled her, causing multiple injuries and bruises, cuts all over her body. When officers got there, Nelson mentioned a physical altercation had happened between the two. Nelson also told officers about his current mental state, and he said he used the golf club on the victim to get her out of a window. When officers entered the home, they found the golf club was slightly bent. They also found drug paraphernalia there. Nelson was arrested for felony domestic assault. And we're moving on to a tragic accident out of South Fargo that's sparking a lot of conversation online. We've been talking about it all week. We told you earlier an infant was killed after being attacked by a dog. That happened late last month. So local experts say this is a risk with any breed, really. Animals are unpredictable. However, there are some steps you can take to help. You can give your dogs a less sensitive smell of your infant by wrapping it in a blanket. Keep in mind, though, your dog can get jealous, so make sure you're playing with it and still taking it for walks.
Usually bigger dogs that cause the most harm, but I mean with an infant, any size dog could cause substantial harm to a child. So it's really hard to say. It really depends on the dog.
So in that South Fargo incident, the dog belonged to the family and has been quarantined at this time. And a family's sacrifice was recently honored. That was two twin North Dakota brothers who died in battle together just days apart. The Workins served in World War II and have recently been featured in a book called Brothers in Arms. It's a string of stories featuring siblings from around the country who battled together. Yesterday, the Workins from Pearl Lake, North Dakota, were honored at the Fargo Air Museum. Let's take a listen.
I started to think about those parents and those families and what they went through. So that sort of became my mission, to find and tell the stories of all these brothers who are buried side by side.
So during that commemoration ceremony, awards were given to the surviving members of the Workin family. Very cool. And this school year, students across the state of North Dakota will have to get used to having no cell phones at school. Remember, this has been banned statewide, cell phones have. With West Fargo and Hillsborough starting their school year this week, Valley News team Sydney Zatz dug into how the school year will differ for you as well as your student. Let's take a listen.
It's time to put the phone down. West Fargo students will not have access to personal devices, including smartwatches, from the start to the end of the school day, including lunch and passing time.
The old policy was during instructional time, so at the start of class to the end of class, cell phones or personal devices should be put away. However, now what we're saying is when students enter into the building, that their devices they don't have access to their devices from the start of the day to the end of the day.
The offenses as follow. First, the device is brought to the main office. The student picks it up at the end of the day. The second time, the guardian has to get it. The third time, it's the same thing, but the student is assigned to a behavior plan.
This will be a baseline year for us, and then from here on out, we'll be able to monitor like what's the overall impact of this state law and this policy. What's the overall impact on student learning?
Over at Hillsborough Public School, it's the same concept. Phones are off when students enter the building, and they'll keep them in their lockers.
We didn't go with the bags to lock them in. We're trusting that students are going to be real cognizant of what they're doing when they're in our building, and we think that the consequences that we have will be strict enough that they won't press those limits.
Those consequences include, first offense, they need to pick the phone up in the office at the end of the day. Second, the parents will have to come get it. And third, you'll have to turn it into the office every morning throughout the end of the semester. Like West Fargo, Superintendent John Dryberg says this is a time to learn and grow.
We're trying to navigate through this. We'll be fine, and our students will be fine, and our parents will be fine. It just takes a little bit of a shift, a gear shift for us, and I think once we get through that gear shift, we'll be on the right track.
In North Dakota, Sydney Zatz, Valley News Live.
So, we're going to continue looking into how local districts are handling that statewide ban on phones in schools. In the meantime, though, we're going to be speaking with Fargo Public Schools. That's happening next week. They're heading back to school next week. So we're going to talk to them then about that. Moving on here, President Trump said Monday he plans to sign an executive order to get rid of mail-in ballots altogether. That potential decision has some Democrats concerned. So in the last election cycle, 40,407 people voted by mail in North Dakota. 11,705 of those people were in Cass County.
We have another situation where the Dem NPL is standing up for all North Dakotans, for the rights of all North Dakotans. And Republicans, will see, will they even stand up for their own voter base?
So President Trump also adds he wants to change the voting machines, claiming we would get secure elections and faster election results. And in the ever-changing landscape of college athletics and NIL deals, North Dakota State is launching the new Green and Gold Fund to support Bison athletics. So what the Green and Gold Fund is, I'm going to pull up some details for you here on the left-hand side of your screen. That fund's going to have 4 levels, okay? It's going to help with future recruiting and retaining NDSU's top athletes. The 4 levels are partner, leader, champion, or founder, all with different types of specific benefits, including VIP experiences. Donors can show their support in many different ways, including one-time or recurring online gifts. And we've got all those details for you over on our website, valleynewslive.com, if you want to go check them out there. And we told you a few months back about a Baudette family trying to fulfill their grandpa's final wish. So Norman Johnson's family turned to TikTok and to find his 1985 Peterbilt truck that he sold back in 2021. There he is with it, okay? He wanted it to bring him to his final resting place. Long story short, it happened amid a few bumps in the road.
It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. It was a gorgeous day.
Yes, it was.
And it was just a really good day.
Yeah.
And I know my dad was smiling from heaven, and he was really grateful for his family.
And you can hear all about how a family friend made this all possible. We got that full story for you on our website, valleynewslive.com. This is just a really sweet story to check out if you got some time today. And if you are looking for lunch plans, I got just the thing for you. Happening today, the 3rd annual Fiesta for Impact with United Way. That is happening today, and it all supports a great cause. Great food for a great cause. And I'm going to pull up the details for you here, share my screen with you so we can get a little bit better details of what's going on. Okay, Light Consulting invites you to unite to create positive impact in the community we all love. So you can join them for a taco in a bag buffet, complete with beverage and dessert. Delicious. Tickets are $20 prior to event, $25 day of. You can prepay and save. You can get tickets on United Way, casclay.org website. I've got it up there for you. So this is happening today. That's going to be 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be a great event to come out and support. So we've got all those details for you on our website, valleynewslive.com. You can pull that up for the details. But if you need to get some lunch for the office, no better way than supporting a great cause and getting some delicious food as well. Well, that's about all I got for you here on this Wednesday morning. Remember, you can follow along throughout the day over on our website, valleynewslive.com, on air, as well as the VNL News app. We are having a beautiful day today, but change is on the way, so keep that in mind. Download that VNL weather app for any details on that as well. Again, that's all I got for you. I'm going to